you guys are all going to get the Zeppelin reinforced so that she can carry more creatures. And we're going to catch up with you as you guys land.
What the fuck? Are we starting a zoo?
So you are actually going towards, I believe it was the town of Tartan. You guys are actually going to arrive there, and it's a small engineering town. They actually have an airship port. They have a port for Zeppelins and hot air balloons, because there is actually a frequent amount of them that go through there. So you can choose to land there and bring that down.
I do want to land there because I want to upgrade my Zeppelin, because we're going to have a lot of army members.
You bring that down, and as you bring that down, you notice that as you walk off the Zeppelin, there's kind of what looks like a small creature, maybe about 2 to 2.5 feet tall. He's in kind of a little cloak, and it looks like a lizard. He has a green lizard tail sticking out from behind him. So Arch, this is you.
I'm trying to get passage on this ship. I'm trying to get the fuck out of this city right now. As much as I can, anyway. I'm gonna come up to her. Excuse me, miss. Can I ask you for passage on your boat?
If you want on the Zeppelin, you must either work for me or join my army. Do you have any special abilities?
Well, I'm very, very small. I can buy
can
things.
relate to that.
See, he knows. So I'm on board already, right? The small thing? We got this? No? Okay. I heal things. I'm a cleric by trade. My god, the Devourer, he lets me say one specific thing, because it's what we do. It's, I can unfuck you, is the phrase. I believe it's in the books.
So are you going to try and roll to convince her of this, or are you guys just going to come to an agreement?
He's a damn healer, like I'm going to say no.
Now he is part of your team, so you can continue into the airport there, and you can try and see, because there's a lot of like engineers and stuff around there, some gnomes, some dwarves, a few goblins actually, kind of like you.
Any goblin engineers?
So you can roll to find a goblin engineer, and you can ask him if he is aware of you and if he will join you willingly.
I can tell you right now, I'll be no help here, because I fucking hate this place.
Yeah, I do not blame you. I come from a very beautiful island that got ruined by a bunch of adventurers.
You fucking deserved it!
So you do find a goblin engineer. He appears to be working on what looks like some kind of a belt-driven propeller drive attached to a bicycle. It's also attached to a hot air balloon. You're not really sure what he's doing from a mechanical perspective, but he's just kind of working away at it.
Excuse me, Goblin. Can I speak with you?
Who are you?
I am the Goblin Queen.
Okay, he's gonna roll wisdom to see if he knows who you are. He rolled a 1. He has no idea what the fuck you're talking about. He's gonna go back to hammering away.
I can use my intimidation, right?
Yes, you can. So you rolled an unnatural 20. I'm going to give him a roll because that still is technically within his realm. He rolled a 20. He tells you to go fuck yourself. He wasn't intimidated by you, and he rolled a nat 20, so he's not going to be intimidated by you. You can maybe try and search for another one, or you can pay him.
Fuck this, I go find another one.
Can I just mechanically just constantly say that she's under bless? I'm gonna just very gently, because guidance is a cantrip that I can pass.
Gently.
Okay.
Just poke her in the back of the head for a D4 for whatever her next roll is.
So your perception is a +2, so that's actually an 8. So you do find another one. He appears to be working on something that appears to be far less complicated, so he might be dumber, but he is still capable.
Why do I have to come from a race of idiots? So I walk up to that goblin. Excuse me, I need some help with my Zeppelin.
Well, let's take a look over there, see? So he hops down and he walks over to the Zeppelin, and he looks at it like, well, what do you want done?
I'd like a full upgrade so that it can go faster and carry more.
Okay, we're gonna need a balloon addition. We're gonna need to add in some more structural padding down there at the lower side. Probably some more bunks in the lower end as well if you want to store some more. So how much you looking to spend?
Well, nothing if possible.
We don't operate on good faith here.
Fine, I have 3 bags of gold. Will that do?
How much is in those 3 bags? Because I'm going to have to take a look at some amounts here. Or you can also try to intimidate this one. So you rolled intimidation. That also gets a +4, which means that's a +15. So that's a 30. So I'm not even going to roll for him because it's impossible for him to actually roll that high. So he immediately looks at you and comes to the slow and painful realization that if he doesn't help you immediately, he's probably either going to wind up eaten or skewered on something. So he immediately bows to you and says that he will do whatever you ask.
That's a good boy.
Please, my name is Giblet. Don't kill me.
I won't kill you, Giblet. Just make sure everything works.
Giblet?
We're goblins, not poets, damn it. All
Yeah.
right, so he is willing to do those upgrades for you by himself, but that is going to probably take at least a day, and he's going to have a couple of other guys help him. So he's going to take a little while doing that. In the meantime, though, you can roll to see if you can maybe try and find another creature in the surrounding countryside to put one of your little control gems in.
Oh, first I get out the owlbear to ride, because he's so cute.
You can ride the owlbear. He will allow that, so that's going to give you a plus to movement speed. So you'll be able to move around, and you can also command him to do things for you.
Excuse me, goblin woman. Can I ride on the... I have tiny legs. I can't keep up with you on that.
Oh, wait, of course. Come on. Take my hand.
So I'm gonna hop up with her.
Okay, you guys are riding the owlbear. Kane, are you going along on this adventure?
Yeah, might as well.
So it's going to be all three of you riding the owlbear into the wild blue
We're
yonder.
going on a trip on our favorite owl bear.
Come on, Stumpy. We're going to go find some supplies and friends.
That's a raw roll. I'm not doing any additions to that. So let's see what you actually did get. You got a Balgura. So you found basically what is a giant murderous gorilla and very angry looking.
Oh
And it has-
my god.
Yeah.
That is
So
going
that-
to become a
so
pet.
that's what you found. Now it has 68 hit points. It's got a very high strength and constitution and dexterity and wisdom, surprisingly.
So I won't be able to intimidate it.
You probably will not be able to intimidate it unless you roll extremely high, like we're talking above a 25. But you can sneak up on it and put a control gem in it.
I am once again going to slap her with my guidance. It's good for you. Learn from it.
You're going to go on ahead while Kane and Arch stay on the owlbear and observe from afar. So you rolled a 14, so your stealth is plus 8, I believe. So that's a 22, plus Arch's buff equals a 24. So you are successfully able to sneak up on the Balgura, and you're able to stand behind it. You are within range to put the crystal into it. Do one dexterity roll to make sure that you don't get nervous and drop it. 14 at 14. Okay, see, you're getting good rolls. Dex mod, that is plus 4, so that would be an 18. So that is enough. So you press the crystal into the back of the creature's leg, and as it fuses into it, the creature kind of lifts its leg up and looks at itself for a second before its eyes begin glowing blue, and it then looks back at you and kind of scratches its head and sits down and waits to be told what to do.
What a good boy. Pet. All right, we go back now. We have a new pet.
So the way that this thing actually works is that it does have multi-attack, so it does 3 attacks, 1 with a bite and 2 with fists. So you now have that creature, so you can try rolling again to see if you can find a third target while he's still fiddling around with your airship.
We really should go look for some supplies.
Yeah, you can go buy some in town, or you can intimidate your way out
I was
of
about
it.
to say, we all know what I'm going to pick.
Probably, yeah, because now you have a giant death ape and an owlbear.
Come on, boys.
And a lizard.
Would the lizard like to ride on the owlbear or on the giant ape?
I don't want to pop the ape's cherry. I'll let that to her. I'll
Come
stay
on.
on the owlbear because I like
Okay.
the feathers.
Okay, so you and Kane will stay on the owlbear, and Purity, you can ride on your new pet.
Fox is on the shoulder.
So you guys travel back into town as basically just like a rolling band of random creatures that just kind of roll in. And there is a general store that's fairly obvious, so I'm not going to make you roll perception to actually find it. It's kind of one of the only ones in town.
Let's try a really dumb roll first.
Okay.
We are totally going to intimidate for some discounts.
Is that the one you just did?
Yes.
Okay, so that's intimidation, so that's a plus 11, so that's 29. So you walk up, the shop owner is a normal human. He doesn't appear to be anything out of the ordinary. You walk up and basically demand enough supplies to feed all of your pets. He then looks at all of your pets, he gives you the key to the shop and walks out.
All right, boys, pick whatever you want. It's all on me.
The owlbear and the Balgura then proceed to loot the store like kids in a candy shop and return all of those items to your ship, which is close to being finished. You still probably have time to search for where you want to put that last control gem.
I'm surprised there aren't any guards in this shithole city.
Would you, as a god, really want to mess with us?
I mean, maybe not Magilla Gorilla, but yeah, I understand.
I guess we can see what else is around.
Okay, so you're going to get one more roll, and this will be your last animal that you can use the control gem on, and we'll see what you get. 17. Okay. What you've discovered is actually kind of a strange animal, but you now have discovered a dog, but it's not just any kind of a dog. It's a shadow mastiff. And basically what that is, it's an ethereal creature, blends in with shadows. It's basically a stealth dog.
I have some food, right? From Can I try to tame it?
You just bought food, so you do have some on you.
Is there a way to tame it so that we don't have to waste a crystal?
You can make the attempt, but you're going to have to roll pretty high.
Son of a fuck!
Oh, yes.
You hold out the food to it, and it then proceeds to snort very loudly and turn its nose up at you and proceed to walk away.
Well, this one's going to be a little difficult.
You have one more chance to try and catch it and install the gem before it does escape.
Alright, I'm gonna try one more time.
Okay, so that's going to be an athletics roll, which you have an addition to. So that's a 9. So you grab at it, and I'm going to roll for the dog, because it has a similar athletics, so it's also going to get a plus. Okay, the dog very easily outruns you and runs back into the woods. You lose track of it, and you can no longer see it.
Darn it. Oh, well.
You can try looking one more time to see if you can find something.
Technically can do command on the next one if it tries to run away.
If you want to try that, yeah, you can. Okay, so this is something a little bit different, but in the similar vein. You found what's called an ambush drake.
I finally get a dragon, yes.
You get a dragon attack dog, but it's not nearly as tough as a dragon. It only has about like 25 HP, but it's still a fun little thing to have. So this one is going to be a lot easier to sneak up on, so you can roll your stealth roll and try to sneak up on it. Since it's a lizard, it really doesn't have that much empathy, so you're probably not going to be able to intimidate or persuade it very well, or unless you roll very high.
I see you're trying to replace me already. This is bullshit.
I was about to say, she might be giving you a mount.
That's like Goofy having Pluto as a pet. This is fucked.
That would actually be a 12. You're able to sneak up on it, but it does notice you. But the thing is, it's not going to run away from you. Initially, it's going to try and attack. So if you roll a dexterity roll, now you can counter the attack and place the crystal. But you're going to have to roll against it. It leaps over you and it scratches at you, but it doesn't actually hit you. So now you're going to have to roll initiative against it, because now you're actually going to be in combat. Does
anybody want to actually help me?
I'm tagging in, goddammit.
Okay, all right, what are you going to do?
I wanted to cast the command spell and under grovel, which would make him fall prone.
So that's a 16.
Good luck.
Purity, you're going to roll your wisdom against it. The creature bows down in front of you and almost presents its paw so that you can install the crystal.
We're gonna put it in the paw.
You place the crystal in the paw, it fuses with the paw, and the eyes on the attack drake glow blue, and that is now your final creature. So you have successfully used all 3 of your gems on the 3 different creatures. So you have the owlbear, the Bulgura, and the attack. In addition to that, you still also have Kane and Arch as well as your minions. So, and Stumpy.
Kane going to do anything during this whole thing? I know he's really good for sex, but he could try doing something.
Don't worry, I'll do something when the time is important. Yeah, they just don't.
So now that you guys have completed your kind of cavalcade of zoo of death, we're going to say that you guys are going to pack up on your Zeppelin and you're going to make your way to Greenville, which is where now Dickstab, who is leading our other band of adventurers. All of you guys and Lumpy have now left along with Dickstab, and you guys are on your way to Greenville.
Do they call you Archduke because your leg is kind of arched like a boomerang?
I was named Arch after my father that passed away right before I was born.
So wait, your name is actually Archduke?
Yes.
Whatever you say, Arch.
Yeah, whatever you say, Worm. What kind of name is Worm?
Worms are dragons, son.
Lumpy pats you on the head and says, "Good backpack."
Get the hell out of here before I cut your hand off, Lumpy.
He's already missing that hand. You guys are on your trip there, but as you guys are kind of walking down the street, Dickstab turns around to you and says,
"I got an idea, guys. It's a thing of good faith. There's a cache of weapons near here that might be of use in case we, run into any unruly types along the road."
Worm starts pulling all kinds of weapons out of his pack. I already got weapons.
"Oh, you don't got these weapons?"
He basically explains that in case they run into something, and if the queen is still alive, she probably wants to try and kill them all for what they did. So might not be a bad idea to go get some weapons.
Okay, we shall go.
Worm doesn't need no weapons. Worm just needs his mitts.
Well, regardless, there's some people here that can't turn into a bear.
Well, they should learn how.
I agree, but unfortunately we don't have the time or the attention spans for that.
I think I could turn into a bear. Wait, can I use polymorph for myself?
Since you're not an unwilling creature, you won't have to do a wisdom save. Or you could also do it on other things, like turning things into a chicken. Dickstab is going to lead you guys forward, and Lumpy is kind of just going to follow behind because he's just sort of following you guys because he lets Cham and Teddy do most of the thinking. You guys get led to this small little cave, and Dickstab ushers you guys to walk inside with him. He steps through the front, and he walks inside a little bit, and there's what looks like a little kind of etching on the wall. He takes out what looks like a small ring, puts it on his finger, and runs it across the etching. The etching then glows green, and you see that there was an illusionary wall that was right next to it that was actually guarding a chest. Now, he looks over at the chest, and he looks over at you. He says,
Hang on a sec. One last thing I gotta do.
and he takes out a stick, and he starts poking the chest.
Oh, is it a mimic?
He's making sure that it's not. So we're actually going to roll to see if it is. It probably is not. Yeah, definitely not. So it is not a mimic. Somebody did not replace his chest with a mimic to fuck with him. So the chest is for real. So he goes over and he opens the chest, and inside the chest are 4 weapons. He takes one of them, which is a throwing glaive. I gave him the glaive from Krull. There are 3 other items that are in the chest that you guys can choose to dispense among yourselves for whatever you see fit.
Alright. I'm gonna look into it. What's in there?
Inside the chest, you find after Dickstab takes his glaive, the other things are, it appears to be a magical child seat. It's kind of like that, except it magically hovers, and it also has a ballista attached to it that does 4d6 damage. Now, I think that would probably be okay for Vash, unless he wants to just stay strapped to Lumpy's back.
No, I like being strapped to people's backs.
So you don't want the hover gun platform.
Fine, I'll take it.
So that comes with 10 bolts and it does 4d6 damage. The other thing is, it appears to be a magical set of gloves. Now, Dickstab hands these over and says basically all you do is put them on and you can activate them by basically clenching your fist as hard as you can and concentrating. And they make 3 claws pop out of your hand.
Alright, so I'll pass that over to,
Worm Bristlefoot?
yeah.
What I need this for?
Well, to be fair, they will change with your size, which means you can be a bear with Wolverine claws.
Worm's just kind of like sitting there looking at him. Just kind of like sticks him in his pocket, doesn't say nothing else.
And the last thing that is in there is an ivory-handled katana.
Why does the retard get the ninja sword?
Because it's the Highlander sword.
So, alright, I guess I'll take it.
All right, that does 3d8 damage. Dickstab says that now you guys have found these cool new weapons. You're ready to go off to Greenville. So he's going to keep leading you guys, and Lumpy's kind of just walking his own way outside along with Dickstab, and everybody else is in tow. At this point, you guys now have some interesting weapons. Purity has her whole thing of zoo animals. I'm going to roll 2 d20s, one for Purity's team and one for your team, and we're going to see who actually shows up first. First one is going to be for Purity because her group came first, and the next one for Cham. Okay, so you guys rolled a little higher. So Cham, you guys are actually going to show up in Greenville first. Like Dickstab said before, the treasure is supposedly buried under the yellow house at the very edge of town. So you guys are going to have to roll perception in order to find that. So Vash, you actually, instead of finding the yellow house, you managed to find your way over to what looks like the local fried chicken restaurant. So yeah, you find a fried chicken restaurant, whereas Raka and Cham, you guys both managed to locate the house along with Lumpy and Dickstab. Vash, you do manage to catch up a little while later after you've had your fill of the local chicken. You can give yourself an extra 2 HP. You guys now have found the house, so you can do what you want at this point. There are 2 yellow houses in this area, so there's one that looks like it's abandoned, and there's one that looks like it's being lived in. You are fairly certain it is the one that is not occupied.
I'm gonna polymorph into
A pangolin?
yeah, hang on.
You can transform into that.
I'm gonna transform and I'm gonna start digging the fuck out of the,
So you're digging under the house, so that's going to be a strength roll to dig under the house and do that little excavation with your polymorph. Lumpy is going to help you as well. He's going to take his free hand and start digging. So you're going to get a plus to that. All right, so you rolled 13. So you're going to get a plus from Lumpy, though. So that's going to be a +3, I'm going to say, because he's only using one hand. So that's a 16. So you guys are able to dig under the house, and Dick Stab's also helping, too, even though he's not really doing much. So you guys managed to dig underneath the house, and you actually do find what appears to be some sort of a chest that you can now try and pull out. So Lumpy will also roll strength to do that if you wish. And he gets a +4, so that's an 11. You get to roll 2 if you're going to help him move. All right, so you guys, like, get it like halfway. Okay, you're going to help, too? Don't you have an Explorer's Pack? I think that comes with a grappling hook.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you do have a... Yeah, all right, so you can help, too, so you can roll. Oh shit!
Holy shit!
Okay, hang on a second. You are literally like a prize-grabbing machine. So what you did was, you went up with the grappling hook, and you swung it around, hooked onto the handle on the side of the chest, and you just airlifted it out of the hole like a helicopter, and then just dropped it right down on the ground right next to it, just so daintily. You whip the grappling hook off and put it back behind your back, kind of like Indiana Jones with his whip.
You see, guys, I ain't that useless.
I'm gonna transform back to my normal self.
You can cancel your polymorph and transform back, so you're in human form again. Okay, now as you guys are about to check the treasure, roll perception. Everybody who's there, roll perception. I'm gonna roll perception for Lumpy too. Oh my God, Lumpy rolled a d20.
Oh my God, Lumpy noticed something.
Funny. The stupid fucking ogre rolled a nat 20.
Worm is not a perceptive individual. God is just staring off into space.
He's just thinking about when the last time was that he had a crap. Lumpy immediately points at the sky and says, "Balloon."
God damn it, Lumpy.
We don't have time for no fucking balloons, Lumpy.
I'm gonna tell Lumpy to quickly grab the chest, and we're getting the fuck out of there.
He's gonna grab the chest, so that's gonna be a strength roll. Okay, he kind of just drags it behind him. He's not actually picking it up. He just grabs kind of the handle of it. Oh, no, Jesus Christ. Okay. He's also slowly dragging you with it because instead of actually helping him, he just kind of belly flopped onto the top of it like a dipshit. So he's also pulling you. So you guys aren't really going anywhere fast. As the Zeppelin pulls up and the ladder flows down. So Purity, you can choose to do what you want at this point. You have your army of minions.
Hey, boss, there's a bunch of shitheads down there with a chest.
I know, we're going to get my chest back and we're going to kill them. Or at least cripple them. It'll be fun.
Did she say chest?
Not that kind of chest, you get that later.
Like I said, you control all those animals as well, so they all come down with you along with the smaller ogre Stumpy.